I'm the Yoga Diva, and I welcome you to this month's video newsletter. So this month, we're talking about freedom from failure. And let me tell you, this whole failure realization came to me kind of like a storm that crept in the middle of the night. I was preparing to attend a conference, and it's a conference that was full of like my favorite teachers and inspirational gurus, self-help, and it was going to be great. To prepare for it, I got out my book of intentions. Now, what's that, you say? Well, my book of intentions is a book that I have with all the things I'm going to do during the year. I don't do resolutions because I just don't want to hold myself so tight to the action steps. So in this book, I have like all these great things I'm going to do with the business and personally, you name it. So I pulled this book out just to get some inspiration and hopefully to get some of my questions answered at the conference. But guess what? I looked at my book and I'd only done about 10%, only 10% of the things in there. It was kind of embarrassing because as a life coach and as a yoga person, I really pride myself on being consistent in my actions and setting my goals and working towards them. But in this book, some of the things I either forgot about it or, to be honest, I just didn't want to do it. So what I did was I looked at those things and said, well, why didn't I do them? So I started to make excuses for myself. You know how we do this. Well, I didn't do this because I was too busy. I didn't do this because, I don't know how to do it. I didn't do this because, this person didn't allow me the time to do it. On and on and on. And then after a few minutes, I had to stop. The excuses were false. I really didn't do the things that I wrote on my in my intentions book because I had fear around it. I felt that, if I did the things that would bring me more attention, that I would be open to more judgment from people. And to be honest, it's hard enough doing my muses every month. It's hard sitting in front of you guys right here behind this camera because I have to put myself out there. So I told myself that, if I had more attention, then I would have more judgment. Then if I had more attention, then I would be busier and it would take time away from my family and time away from me. And then also, if I was busy, if I was overwhelmed, that I would fail. All the things I had built up would crash down, that I would be overwhelmed and I couldn't keep up. And then all those people, all those naysayers in my life that told me, you stick with your job, who do you think you are? They would be right. And I didn't want to prove them right. So I took a moment and I cried. I cried and I cried and I cried. And one thing about me is sometimes in my family, we're told, don't you cry unless someone died. So in my tears, I said, well, am I a failure now? Because now I'm crying over something that, no one died. Is it that serious? But I allowed myself to feel what I felt. And after I cried, I had a moment of clarity. This whole failure thing, for me, it's a myth. A lot of us, we put this pressure on ourselves to get validation from other people, to, achieve these goals. And if we don't do it, we're a failure. If we don't go to school, we're a failure. If we don't get that promotion, we're a failure. But guess what? It doesn't matter. If you tried to get that promotion, or if you attempted or tried to get through school, you're not a failure. If it didn't work out that time, a setback is just a pause for the cause. A setback is a step back to look and see, okay, number one, is this what I really want? Number two, am I allowing myself the space in order to grow? Or am I pressuring myself? So that being the case, there is no failure. There's just failure to do something. So if there's something in your life you want to do, try again and again. And each time you try, get you a little bit closer to that goal. So knowing that there is no failure. And we can live our life knowing that if we are at least trying, we're that much closer to our success. So I say to you today in closing, the only real failure is the failure to do something. May tomorrow find you doing something and getting a little bit closer to your goals. Peace and namaste.